Hello everybody, Martin here, back with round 2 of this Legacy League, playing Death and Taxes. We've won the dice roll and get this hand, which is great, so we've chosen to keep it. Let's see, our opponent also keeps 7, so let's lead with Plains into Aether Vial. I mean, if this gets Force of Willed, I mean, that's never great, I don't think, but seeing as we have lands to cast the rest of our hand, I guess hemming them for 1 mana is not the end of the world. That's a little bit of a stretch, of course, to put it that way, but no, it's through. Great. So let's see if we can see what we're up against. Oops, looks like I have paused on their upkeep. Oh, okay. Lotus Petal straight off the bat. So, I mean, normally that would... Lotus Petal usually signifies always, I guess, signifies a combo deck. Scalding Tarn Lotus Petal makes me think it's either Sneak and Show or... what's it called? Storm. Now, normally Storm doesn't play out their mana rocks because they need them for the Storm count, but if this player knows the jig, then this player knows that they're up against Death and Taxes and knows that Thalia is a thing next turn, potentially. And so might want to get their free spell sort of on the battlefield before Thalia hits. In either case, let's get the Aether Vial up. Now, we can't port them on upkeep because it's a fetch land. And if it is Storm, then we just want to play Thalia real quick and dirty. If it's not Storm and Sneak and Show, then playing Thalia severely risks getting Force of Will. But even then, we have Karakas if it is Sneak Show, which should put us in a good spot. So I think we're going to play the Thalia rather than if they had played a portable land. Okay, so it is Sneak Show. Yeah, Spell Pierce. That means Sneak Show or OmniSneak. I hope it's not Omniscience. It's a non-Omniscience build because that, like, Omniscience is a real pain for us. Okay, so we are going to tick up Aether Vial. I think we play out Karakas here rather than sandbag it. It means that they won't just show and tell blindly. But if they had show and tell and were going for that, they would have done it last turn. So I think playing the Karakas now is just better in case they end up getting if they go next turn Ancient Tomb Sneak Attack, then the Karakas saves us a turn. And then we can at the very least Violent Flicker Wisp on on our end step to flicker out the sneak attack for 1 more turn. But anyways, let's play the Karakas and let's pass. We're not playing Mother Runes because we might want to have Rashad port, like if they were going for a Brainstorm end of turn. I don't think we port a fetch land here just to get them to sack it. Okay, looks like they are not doing anything, so let's vial in this Stoneforge Mystic. If this is not the Omniscience build, then we basically just need to we get Batterskull here, I think, over GT. If this is not the show and tell build, if this is not the Omniscience build, then a Phyrexian Revoker now makes this a hard lock if we can get to Phyrexian Revoker, because game 1 Karakas plus Revoker is that. So I'm going to port one of their fetch lands here on the end of their turn. And if they don't crack it, then basically I'm representing having a wasteland. Okay, that gives us a land to port on their upkeep, so I'm pleased with that. Let's count the vial up to 3 here. There is a wasteland. This is good because it's like another land to use the Stoneforge. So we both get to port their island and violin. Sorry, violin with Stoneforge. So the question, okay, so the question is if they were going to like brainstorm end of turn, but I guess not. So what is this? Intuition end of turn? Burning a lotus petal? That seems kind of like expensive for them. Nevertheless, that looks like it is what they're doing. So the one thing I don't want to see here is like triple omniscience. I mean, if they go triple show and tell, then I guess they could still have the omniscience. But yeah, triple ancient tomb. Okay. Well, so the question is, do we tap their mountain this turn? Because they might go show and tell off the island and then have mountain to activate the sneak attack. But I guess like then tapping the show and tell is better. So I think we tap the island. They might have brainstorm though, in which case tapping the island is just a little bit annoying. And they had the pedal. There's a sneak attack. Okay, so let's see here. We use flicker, like end of turn here, we violin the Sword of Fire and Ice, equip it onto the Stoneforge. On our turn, attack for 3, for 5, bring them down to 10. Then end of their turn, sorry, end of our next turn, we activate the Aether Vial to flicker out the sneak attack. I'm not really sure. Otherwise, we just do it and like use Aether Vial now to bring them further down. But I'm not too stoked on that. What I would actually like to do is to bring in the Mother Runes and just hope that one of their 3 cards is not Emrakul, but that is actually Gristlebrand. But yeah, we'll see. Let's bring in the sword. Okay, so let's see here. We use Wasteland and Port to tap to equip the Stoneforge, and then we can use Plains to cast the Mother Runes. And then if they don't have Emrakul, but only, in brackets, only have Gristlebrand, then Mother Runes and the Flicker Wisp is going to be big game. So let's do this. So let's get in there. We might draw into another land with this Sword of Fire and Ice trigger. We draw another Flicker Wisp, which is really nice. That might actually just be game. Alright, so on our end of turn, let's flick. Oh, damn, I forgot to play the Mother Runes. Oh, that was just stupid. I'm a mope. But sneak attack goes out. Man, that was stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. That was the whole reason for, like, not wastelanding or porting them this turn, was to... Well, we can port them, but, like, wastelanding their ancient tomb. Plus, now we don't get to do the Mother Runes thing. But drawing that second Flicker Wisp is pretty sweet. That means that it is lethal. Show and tell. So if they have a second sneak attack here, then that's annoying. But I'm not really sure. I think I'm going to show in Mother Runes and not the Flicker Wisp. I guess they could have like Omniscience, in which case we are not happy. But I'm thinking this is second sneak attack, so their hand is like sneak attack fatty. But then they only have the red mana, the one red mana, and we can bounce with Caracas. Okay. Right, okay, so they're hoping to draw into like another like red land, that's pretty likely, and then Emrakul, or they had Emrakul in hand. But how do they survive this then? We have enough permanents to sack and we can bounce like one of the fatties. Okay, so we're bouncing the Gristlebrand. This means they can put him in on their end step and he will remain in play on, but I mean, yeah, it's okay, so we got there. I think we had it locked up either way. Alright, so we don't have a whole lot to bring in this matchup, mainly just because it's like really good already. I think like Sanctum Prelate number 2 might be good, maybe like a Council's Judgment. Let's bring in triple Canonist, right? At least let's see if we can find room for them, because like if they have Omniscience, then Canonist is like one of our only real answers. So leave out the Jite, leave out the Batterskull, leave out 2 Stoneforges. Probably we can dump some number of Swords to Plowshares, maybe even all of them. So that leaves us with too few cards. So what else would we like? Could they be on like some secondary plan we're not really considering? I guess like a second Council's Judgment. It's pretty likely they will have like a Blood Moon or Pithing Needle. But Council's Judgment is a little bit heavy-handed. I'm not really sure, honestly, if there's much else in this library or in the sideboard that really helps us. Yeah, maybe we want like one source of one, like Plowshares seems so bad though. They either have drawn like 7 or 14 cards, or it's Emrakul and we can't cast it. So maybe like the Batterskull is not the worst. That can sometimes do something, and then like the third Stoneforge for 2 equipment. Yeah, let's try this. Is this good enough? I mean, we have lots of answers to the show and tell plan. Not lots of answers, but like Banisher Priest is a pretty sweet answer, but we don't have lands, so yeah, this is much better. Keep this. And the Recruiter of the Guard. I think that's better than like a random card off the top with the stuff we already have. So let's see. So the question is, do we lead with Mother of Runes or Aether Vial? And like Mother of Runes might actually, I don't know. Like on the draw, leading on the Aether Vial, I think like we might need to turn to Thalia regardless, like just Hardcaster. I'm not sure. Wait, did they mulligan? Yeah, they mulligan to 6. And they scry to the top. And then they pondered and did not shuffle. I think we lead on the Vial. It makes like the Recruiter a lot better, and Oh, okay, never mind. And that's a Cunning Wish. That's a pretty big tell. So it is like an Omni deck, or at least has Omniscience. So if they go like Show and Tell, they do, and they have one card. That's unfortunate for us. So if it's Emrakul, then it doesn't really matter what creature we get here. If it's Gristlebrand, then the Spirit of the Labyrinth is pretty big game. If it's Sneak Attack, then they don't have another card in hand, so we have a little hope. I think if it's Gristlebrand, we want the Spirit over both Thalia and the Recruiter. Like, the Recruiter gets us Revoker off its trigger, but then they get to draw 14. If it's Omniscience, then I think Thalia is probably better, but we can just cast Thalia next turn, they'll be Hellbent. And yeah, like I said, if it's Emrakul, then I guess it doesn't matter. We just have to hope to blindly hit the Caracas. I guess if it's Emrakul, no, there's like we have nothing that helps us there. The Banisher Priest is 3 mana, so yeah, let's put in the Spirit. Okay, sweet. I mean, we're still not looking great here because they have a 7/7 lifelinker that flies, but if we can draw Caracas, that's obviously great. So I guess we want to play the Mother of Runes here over Thalia because we want to draw another land and then cast Flicker Wisp to have a blocker that can get protection. I guess they could pay 7 to they're doing it. They pay 7 to draw 1 card. That is so aggressive. I guess something tells me they missed it, but I could be wrong. So we basically just have to like have them not kill the Spirit or the Mother this turn, and then hopefully draw like a land. Otherwise, this is a 4-turn clock. Oh, sorry, a 3-turn clock. Caracas obviously is fantastic here, but any other land will do. Okay, that is not so good for us. And that is not a land. Do we play the Thalia here? Does that matter? They can't like cantrip profitably because of the Spirit. Yeah, I'm not sure. Does it hurt us? What did we bring in? The Council's Judgment, like that won't matter, but yeah, I think actually we're not going to play the Thalia because if we were, like, we might need to draw into a land, but then we need to also be able to draw a Council's Judgment and get rid of the Sneak Attack. But if they have Emrakul here, obviously we just die. Okay, so last draw step for us. I think it's land or bust. That's not a land. Yep, okay. So on to the next game. That's a little frustrating. Nope, not a land. Nope, not a land. Okay. So I don't think really anything changes here. They didn't show us whatever sideboard tech they have. They obviously have some. Usual stuff for them to bring in is like Blood Moon, Pyroclasm, some run Sun Shock. Kozilek's Return is annoying, and they probably have access to that with the Cunning Wish package, but yeah, we'll see. This being like an OmniSneak deck makes it like way worse than if it was just pure Sneak and Show. And we know it's an OmniSneak deck because they had Cunning Wish. So, yeah, we'll see. Let's choose to be on the play. Yeah, this works. If this hand loses to Force of Will and loses to Kozilek's Return, Force of Will on the Revoker, that is. And they're mulliganing to 6 again, okay. So let's lead on Mother of Runes. And then next turn, hope to resolve the Phyrexian Revoker. Okay. I think we play it out. I don't think we can really afford to not play it out. Okay, so this name's Sneak Attack. And we now, I think, just have to avoid them having either Sudden Shock that gets sort of underneath the Mother Runes and Kozilek's Return that just is colorless, so Mother can't protect from that. And I guess, yeah, sure, Omniscience. And I would guess that they have Omniscience. So the question is, what's our best chance here? If they have Cunning Wish, then nothing helps us. If they have Emrakul, then we can Flicker Wisp the Omniscience, and then hope to nothing. I think then we're just dead. So probably we are just dead. But I think Flicker Wisp is the card to put in here. Nothing else they can put into play off Show and Tell scares us here. So Flicker Wisp, yeah. Target the Omniscience. Do they just have the Cunning Wish? Well, they're brainstorming. So, I mean, the other thing we could have done was put in the Recruiter, get a trigger, find what's his face, Aethersworn Canonist, but yeah, not that likely. I mean, I'd be much more worried. Like this, like if they don't have that works if they don't have like a second or something to do with the Omniscience. But okay, well, let's hope they bricked on that Brainstorm, because now they get their Omniscience back. There's a port, so I think the plan now is to just attack them with the Revoker and Flicker Wisp, play the port, play the Recruiter of the Guard, and get a Canonist. We could get Banisher Priest, but that would not make sense, not without the Vial. We could get Mangara, but I think that's probably too slow. We could get Sanctum Prelate and cast it naming 3 so that they can't go Cunning Wish, but I mean, that might actually be pretty decent, but then they just have to find like one of their 3 Emrakuls with regular cantrips. I think Canonist is to play. So, let's see here. Are we just dead? Yeah. Alright, so they take their Time Walk. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 7 permanents. We sack everything but 1. And we're dead. So, lost that one. Happens. Well, thanks for watching.